Hey, what's up? It's Emilio DiSpirito, and this is the Wealth Architect Podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you each and every single week. My team and I have hand-selected our guests to come on the program to talk about how to build wealth financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? There's so much that goes into building a lifestyle full of wealth, and we hope that this content really reaches you, not only in your brain, but in your heart, and that you could do something with this. So thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you, and we're going to have a great show. Hey, a special thank you to our sponsor, Annie Mac Home Mortgage, whose Cash to Keys product is disrupting the industry. Sick and tired of finding the perfect home, not having your offer selected? I got to tell you, it happens all the time. With Cash to Keys, Annie Mac gives sellers a cash guarantee for each of their buyers' offers. Stop bidding and hoping. Instead, bid with Annie Mac and bid with confidence. Don't just bid, but win. Annie Mac Mortgage. Do you live in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and you're thinking about moving? Well, the worst thing you can do is ask your friends to come help you, because then guess what? You owe them a favor. Never mind, you're going to be spending a ton of money on beer and pizza, and stuff is going to get broken. It sucks. Call our friends Metz Moving and Storage. They're going to be able to move you, especially in this marketplace, but they can actually ship your stuff around the world and move you with their crew of dedicated professionals anywhere in the United States. Go ahead and Google Metz Moving and Storage, and they'll help you out today. Welcome to the Wealth Architect Podcast. I'm Emilio DiSpirito, and this is episode number 9, season number 2. We've had so many amazing people on, and we love to learn how to create wealth through various ways. And one of the people that we're talking with Sam Alba today, and he is not only the broker of Innovations Realty, but he's also a developer, a home renovation specialist, aka flipper, right? Sounds a little bit better like that. He's building communities, he's building people, and he's building massive wealth through all of these ways, leveraging real estate. So I think it's an interesting take, especially for anybody who's thinking about getting a real estate license or who has a real estate license. We're going to do a deep dive there, and we're going to learn how to leverage that license for massive wealth creation. Sam, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome, man. Welcome. Yeah, good to have you here. This guy's always dressed so sharp. You look like $1 million.
Oh, listen, I got to look to par. Maybe I'll get there one day.
Yeah, right. I know. Me too. We're all trying. Yeah. We're all trying.
No, but thank you for having me on. I love the podcast. I watch it all the time, every time you release it. So appreciate you having me on. It's cool.
Thank you, man. Great to have you too. So Sam and I have known each other for 15 years, maybe 10 years. I don't even know.
I think probably 15 years.
A long time, right? A long time. And over the years, I've seen Sam build his empire. And Sam, you've done a really wonderful job of not only building your own empire, but helping people build their empires too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very passionate in terms of helping people around me and watching other people grow. I find I receive a lot of fulfillment from it, right? There's a lot of joy in just growing together versus, by myself, which it's something I've never done. I've always wanted to grow along other people. Celebrating by yourself
it's no fun.
No fun.
Yeah.
Celebrating with a group of friends or colleagues. Yeah. Creating moments.
That's right.
And you're helping lives at the same time. And they help me out as well, right? So it's not, I always give credit to the people around me because it's not a one-way street, right? I provide what I can, but they also provide resources as well. And they help me out with my journey as well.
So it's always at this point in your career where you have done really well. You've built several homes. You have built up a portfolio. You have a name. You're like, you've got all that going. You have a brand around you, which is great personally, right? And it looks at this point like things are easy, right? And it looks like, oh yeah, well, it must be nice to be Sam. But we're going to go ahead and unpack that, and we're going to talk about the road to that. And I want to learn from you, Sam. I want to talk about some lessons that you've learned along the way. And maybe our listeners who are in that journey might be able to not make the same mistakes maybe that you've made or that I've made along that journey too. So I think it'll be really fantastic. So first off, let's start with when did you get your real estate license, and why did you choose real estate?
I got my real estate license at this point. It's about the same time because we met when I got it 15 years ago, or 16 maybe now. And why did I get it?
Getting old.
Yeah, fast. I actually was buying and rehabbing homes before I got my real estate
Really?
license. So I was already in the market as a buyer investor, and
Mm.
at that time in that market, it wasn't a flippers market, so it wasn't rehab and sell. There wasn't any buyers at the time. We were rehabbing homes to manage them, so it was
Mm.
about creating cash flow and rental income.
Mm.
And then I ended up getting my real estate license, just really as kind of like a part time. I had no intention at making it a full time career.
Sam Alba started as a part-time agent.
No, I was busy
Wow.
GCing my own work, and at
Yeah.
the time I was GCing work for actually other clients as well. I had no intentions in actually creating a full career out of it. But what happened was, it was kind of joke on me. What happened was a lot of relationships that I had knew I was in the industry. They knew I was rehabbing. They knew I was buying homes. So and they trusted me. So
Mhm.
there was trust factor that really kicked in when I stepped into the realtor role.
Mhm.
And even though some scenarios before I even got my license, I didn't have a license, they would call me and say, "Sam, I'm buying this house. I got a home inspection, but I want you to come look at the house and tell me if I'm doing the right thing." And I'm getting those calls, multiple times a month.
Mm.
I said, "Man, well, let me just get my license so I can help out. There's people around me that trust me, and I could just
Mhm.
make some extra cash on the side." Oh, little by little, things one thing turned to another.
Mm.
Career started taking off. Started then after that building a team because I was getting so much business that I could afford to leverage other individuals and their resources to continue to grow. And yeah, then here I am. Well,
Wow.
the real estate back. I'm gonna skip the 15 years, right? Go
Wow,
right to
yeah.
it.
50 years, guy. What are you, like 40, 43, 44? How old are you?
44 right now.
44 during the time of this interview. Okay. All right, that's good. And then all right, so you got into it kind of organically, already rehabbing houses, but for rent. And so that was when, like 2010, 2011.
Yeah, 9, 10.
Okay.
So
The bottom of the
It
market.
was the bottom of the market. Yep.
Do you still have any of those properties today?
Yes. Let's see. I do. Yes,
Wow.
I do.
Would you buy those for like $10?
Almost not.
They couldn't give those things
I'm
away.
trying to think of how many of those I still have.
Yeah.
I have quite a few. I've sold some. I moved inventory around, but I still have quite a few houses I bought before 2010.
Wow.
And yeah, back then I'm buying at 70,000, 80,000, 90,000.
Yeah.
I remember overpaying for a house, and everybody said I was crazy for paying 103,000 for the house. But it was like turnkey at the time. Everything you bought, you needed to put in some energy, some work, some resources. This one was turnkey, and everybody said, "You crazy?
Mm.
103,000." Today,
Whoa.
that house is close to 700,000.
One unit is 160,000,
Yep.
Well, I remember sitting with you back in, I think it was the first time we ever really hung out was maybe like 2016, maybe.
I remember that day. It was a good day.
Let's not talk about it. This is some funny stuff, but
All right, we'll
bruschetta.
come back.
That's all I'm gonna say.
All inside jokes. So don't keep it there.
Anyway, people are like, Sam, tell me about bruschetta. What happened?
Yeah. You gave out the date. I'm gonna scroll back to my MySpace and find out what I was doing.
Oh yeah. So, but I remember talking with you back then, and prices were probably getting to like 200. We were seeing stuff in Pawtucket like around 200, 210, and we were like, we can't believe this. There's no room for it to go up from here. And long and behold, look where things are. But without digressing, getting back towards those buildings, right? So over time, when you own real estate, because I want to talk about the different aspects of wealth, the different ways to build wealth with and through real estate and through a real estate career, really. So owning these properties, okay, they have equity in them. Like, what are different ways that somebody could leverage a property that has equity in it?
At the end of the day, leveraging that equity to invest in any potential project that comes around, it's you're having your investment buy more investment.
Mhm.
So
Like, what
I
are
mean
those
by that,
means? What are those tools? Is what I'm
tools
saying.
in terms of whether you're going through your traditional financing, going to a bank institution and just being able to get a heat lock or a commercial loan on
Yeah.
one of those properties where you have equity. Yeah. I preach this all the time because people are always talking about how well they've done. I have 300,000 in equity. I have 500,000 in equity, but they do nothing with it. So what do you? So you really got nothing going for you. You got some,
Fairy
AKA
dust.
fairy dust value.
Yeah.
If you don't execute it, if you don't turn it into cash and put it into an asset, then you're really not, building wealth the way you should be taking advantage. You're not leveraging it. So I believe your question is, well, where do you go? You go to a bank institution or a local credit union. You finance it, but you pull out the equity to put it into another asset, another investment. A lot of people don't. A lot of people want to go on vacation and get a new car and get new clothes, new sneakers. That's not the way to do it. Your first investment, when it pays you back, don't go buy a new Rolex.
Yeah, no.
Right? But that's what people are taught in today's world. And that's what I see a lot of people doing.
That's where people trip up.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. All right, so that's what I was trying to get out of you was like, all right, so how are we creating wealth with equity? Because so many people do brag about like the equity that they have, but they don't do anything with it. And if you take that equity over the years and keep transferring it and buying more properties, right, and using that, holding that asset, you keep the cash flow, you keep an appreciating asset, and you keep your money moving and working for you. It's imaginary. It's doing nothing in the brick and mortar. You take it out of that and you can buy more brick and mortar, and then you can use that brick and mortar and buy more and more and more and more. It's compounding, right?
Exactly. It's a very simple formula. I didn't write it. And I tell young investors this all the time. They tell me they have an asset, they have a property, they have equity. They say, well, if I pull some equity out of it, now my cash flow is gonna shrink on that investment. I say, yes, but that's fine because you're gonna take that, and this is very simple math, but so many people get stuck there. But you're gonna take that money that you're pulling out. Yes, you're gonna pay a rate on it, you're gonna pay a monthly on it, but you're gonna go buy yourself asset number 2. And now you got to take into consideration the cash flow of both properties, and then you got to take into consideration, which this is the big one, that now you got 2 appreciating assets, not 1. And you also have 2 depreciating deductions when it comes to tax season instead of 1. And then you go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and you keep going up the ladder that way. Like
that's right. And now that's using a HELOC type of loan. So now people might be saying, well, how do I pull a HELOC out of an investment property? Like, is there a certain website or certain company that you've been successful with or that you've used? Because
this is where I
not
would
all
tell
banks
you,
will do it.
Always be in touch with a local professional in your market, because that avenue changes. I do believe going into your local credit unions when you need for investors that need to pull equity out of their one asset or even portfolios, they tend to work out well for you. They understand the local market. Different banks are being more aggressive during different times. So knowing who those individuals are during that time is important for you, because you might just walk into the wrong credit union at the time where they might be a little more stringent in terms of lending out because for whatever reason, their portfolio is not allowing them to. But there's always a handful of banks that are, and you just got to know who those banks are. That way you walk into the right credit union when you're looking to pull some equity out of your properties or one property.
And if you don't know or have any connections in a specific market, just look to see who is building, who is buying, who is a big landlord in the area. Call them, approach them. Most business people are super humble and are going to give you advice.
Yes.
Right?
And if one guy doesn't, ask the next guy. Because you got to be relentless. There's nothing in this game plan that says it's going to be easy. Right? So you do got to search for the information, get the answer, put yourself around the right individual, and that's what you're referring to. Find out who that individual is, who's being successful, and you just try to build a relationship with him, because he's going to be able to give you advice not only on where to get the financing, but where to get the right building materials, right? Or how to manage certain different scenarios.
That's huge. So we talked about the HELOC to pull money out and to keep your money compounding. How about a cash out refi type of situation? Have you done any of those in the past? And can we talk about like maybe the strategy with a cash out refi?
Kind of similar. Depending on what you have for your original loan, maybe it does make sense to just restructure your entire loan for that property or portfolio. You wouldn't want to do that if you have a good rate on the original loan.
Yeah.
And this is where you're better off doing a second mortgage and doing that heat lock versus just refinancing the whole program. But both those scenarios work, and they're going to give you the same outcome. It's just, which one makes sense at that time for that property. And that's all going to depend on, what the rate was, to keep it simple. For the most part, what is your original rate, and do you want to get rid of that rate and introduce today's market rate?
There's a time that's coming where the rates are supposed to go down. There's a lot of people that have either refinanced for various reasons or who have purchased in an environment where rates were at, 6, 7, 8, 9% in some cases, even 10 I've seen. Okay. So those people might have a really good opportunity coming up as the interest rates go down and the values of properties go up. Doing a cash out refi could be a really good opportunity to put your portfolio in. And now, Sam, do you know, is there a certain percentage that the banks use that they'll give you up to X amount out of
equity?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get into that, but go back. You're right. We're going to see a lot of cash out refis happening because, we're coming from a time where rates were a little spiked, and now we're kind of getting down to normal times. We weren't seeing them a lot because if we go back, 5 years plus, rates were great, and what they were doing was slightly increasing. So nobody wanted to get rid of that original note. Today, in today's market, we're looking to unload that note and get into something more comfortable as rates continue to drop.
How much can you pull? Is there a percentage?
So that varies between banks, and they'll loan you 80% loan to value, 75% loan to value, 70% loan to value, 65%. It all depends on the program. It depends on the banks.
Yeah.
So that number does vary. At the end of the day, that's just a marketing tool. But at the end of the day, they know how much money they want to have out on certain type of projects, and they make the numbers work.
So, for example, just to break it down, if your property is worth $100,000, simple math, you owe $50,000, and they're giving you a loan to value of 80%. That means that you're pulling $30,000 out, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So 30. Now multiply that times times a $500,000 home. That's $150K, right? Now, here's how the wealthier get wealthier, okay? They don't make the typical income type of money like a 9-to-5 worker. Instead, they leverage loans, right? And if you take a loan out, you're paying interest on it, right? But you're not paying taxes. Interest oftentimes is a lot less lower than taxes. And you've got that loan money, which is tax-free.
Yep.
And you can spend it on more properties, spend it on investing. But that's what I'm seeing the wealthiest people do. They take loans out on stuff.
100%. And that's the mentality that the wealthy people have. They're always leveraging their assets.
Debt.
And they have no problem with that. They know how to use that. It's called financing. That's what the finances is.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of cases where, there's private lending. They'll lend out through private mortgages on investors that are looking to buy homes, rehab, or short-term mortgages. And where they get the funds, some of them have them, and some of them are leveraging their assets. And for a time, most of them are completely leveraging out their primary residence because that's where they were getting their best rate.
It's a great way to start.
Yeah,
if you want to lend money.
Absolutely. Some of these guys at the time had a 3% rate, and they're over here turning around and making 14% on it.
Yeah, and points up front.
Yeah. Very simple way to, make a good spread on your money.
S&P 500 isn't doing that.
No. As well as it's done in the last, in the past, it's not doing it right now.
I love that. Literally, so 10 minutes or so in, we've talked about how, Sam came up, maybe 15 minutes came up in the business, how he started renovating properties, but also how he used HELOC, how he used cash out refi, how we can also lend on our assets as well too, which is pretty amazing. You know what I want to learn more about, Sam, and I'm definitely not a specialist in this, is a self-directed IRA. And I see some big hitters using SEPs or self-directed IRAs and making a ton of money using those.
Well, 100%. But I'm probably not going to be the guy to preach about it either. So I depend on my financial advisors for that as well.
Do you have a financial advisor?
Yes.
How do you choose? Listen, how do you choose the right financial advisor? Because in my head, and this might sound shallow, but I'm not going to hire a financial advisor that's not driving like a $200,000 car, that's not living in a massive house. That's like, don't you kind of?
No, I disagree.
Is
I
that
do
shallow?
I do want, you know what, these days there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. So just
True,
because
true.
he's driving a $200,000 car doesn't mean that he's doing well. I do want to know that my financial advisor is doing well,
I
but
want
the
to know if they're
car in
doing
the
better
garage
than me.
isn't. Yes,
That's
yes,
what I'm
yes.
saying.
You know,
That's what I'm trying to get
I
at.
want to know that he's doing well because it
Yeah.
does get to a stage where she's not going to be doing better than all their clients. Right?
No.
At the end of the day, they're managing wealth, so it's not like financial advisors are wealthier than anybody else on the planet. But I do want to know that they're doing well. I do want to know that they're well versed and then they understand the products. And I want to know that they truly got my best interests at heart because they could drive the $1 million car and have the watches and all that, but if they don't care about me and my money, then that's not the guy I want to be having conversations with.
Solid point. But I guess what I did not relay correctly is that there's so many financial advisors out there like realtors.
Yes.
All right. So it's basically like the realtor who doesn't own any real estate. You stay away from that type of financial advisor. If that financial advisor is just like giving you like off the cuff info, but they're having a hard time paying their rent, you don't hire them.
No, because
Right.
he's not practicing what he preaches. And what, like, you made a really good comparison with realtors, and I've always felt the same way. The realtors that own real estate, invest in real estate, they're always more knowledgeable than the individuals that are not, because they want to understand the market because they are invested in the market themselves.
That's right. Right on.
So they're gonna be more educated in terms of what's going on, what's happening. They're trying to figure out what's coming around the corner in the market so that they could pivot, but at the same time, they're educating their clients as to what they're informing themselves of because they have a personal financial interest on it.
Student of the game.
So yeah, 100%. So I agree. I do want financial advisors that's pretty financially established.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, it sounds so shallow, but it's funny, but at the end of the day, I think y'all know, we know what we mean. But how about this? And I want to get back into wealth creation, but first we got to talk about building the right team around you. Okay. And yeah, the right team of real estate agents and all of that, but I'm talking about the right professional team. So Sam, in your estimation, let me ask you this, who are the 5 most important professionals to have in your circle?
I do believe, like I mentioned earlier, you gotta have the right team around you. And if we want to talk about professional, not necessarily your team, but just the professionals that help you in your in your business, you gotta have a good attorney, gotta have a good CPA. You want to have a CPA. You also want to have a good tax consultant. Could be the same person, and it could not be. Not all good CPAs are great consultants as well. So maybe that's just one person, but make sure that individual is doing both.
A tax consultant.
You want to be advised. What should you be doing?
Just learn something.
It's not necessarily, making sure your returns and everything else is prepared correctly and everything's being tracked well and all your financials are in order. But how about some tax advice? Not all good CPAs are great advisors, and sometimes it's kind of hard to find that individual. And if you don't have it, well, it's okay.
You have a
find
guy?
an individual. I do, but he's not taking no clients. So this is a question.
That's how good he is.
I get asked this question. I got asked two times yesterday.
Yeah.
To recommend my CPA, my accountant, and I did ask, but I know the answer. Yeah, right now he's currently not taking new clients.
I'm gonna ask my accountant. I trust him. He's great. He's fantastic. Works at an awesome firm, and I can KLR in Providence.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like they have.
So
they would have that.
They
have to have that.
They do. I actually in one of my partnerships, I have a partnership with 2 other individuals, and we own some commercial real estate, and they do our returns. Right.
Nice. All right, Sam. So we've got the CPA, the attorney, the tax consultant,
And you want to have that financial advisor
that drives a Pinto.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's frugal with his money.
And then you want to have a good doctor. Make sure you stay healthy in this process.
A doctor. You know what? I didn't even think about the doctor.
What's the point if you don't stay healthy?
Yeah,
You
true.
know, find one that cares about you.
That's true. Wow. That's true. It's tough right now to find a doctor, a primary care. Like, they're not making any more of them.
You're right. It was a battle.
It's crazy.
I was at a stage where my previous primary retired, and it took me a little bit to be able to find another one. I had a friend had to make it happen for me.
Yeah, right?
You had to have somebody pull strings for you to get one.
That's wild. That's absolutely awful. I like that, though, that you said a doctor. That's smart.
Yeah. At the end of all of this, we want to make sure that we're balanced and we're staying focused on the goal. You know, there's financial wealth, but there's also wealth in general. And it's just not about the financing. You want to make sure you're healthy. You want to make sure you're enjoying life. You want to make sure you enjoy what you do as well. Because if not, you'll have financial wealth, and what else?
It doesn't matter if you don't have your health, if you don't have your love, if you don't have your
you need the package. Right?
When you're buying real estate, you need somebody that understands the ins and outs of the legal ends. It's so important to have the right attorney working for you. You also need a bulldog. Let me tell you something. The first time I sat in a conference room with this lady, Melissa Delana of Delana Law, I immediately knew she owned the room. You need an attorney that owns the room, that can solve problems and make things happen when everybody else can't. You want to hire Delana Law in Massachusetts, Connecticut, or Rhode Island. Delana Law delivers every single time. They're going to help you out with all of your real estate needs. It's delanalaw.com. You got to check them out. When you look back, right, like at your career, at everything, like, do you ever wish like things were simpler for you? I mean, you got a million things going on all day, constantly stimulated. Dude, I don't know if I've ever met anybody that gets more text messages than Sam Alba. Like, if you look at his phone, it is ridiculous. I thought I was like pretty busy.
It gets out of control
Even
sometimes.
Scratch the surface.
It gets out of control. And I still get people to say, hey, you don't answer your phone. I say,
can't.
I can't answer more than I do. I say, I can't do more. I do wish that, at some point along the line, I would have had somebody help me and mentor me. I've gotten help from individuals because I've learned from anything and anybody. Right?
Yeah,
like life teaches you lessons in all different ways.
Sure does.
But I remember even reaching out to certain individuals and kind of saying, hey, would you mind mentoring me, in different words. Never was able to get somebody to really take me under their wing. And I'll take a mentor today.
Wow.
I'll get mentored today because you always want help and assistance to get to the next level. Save you from all those headaches like you mentioned at the beginning of this meeting. Save me all the headaches that I do to come towards me for this next path that I want to take in terms of leveling up. So yeah, I do wish it was easier, but you know what? It was school of hard knocks, and here we are, and I can't complain. Life is good.
Yeah. I mean, as we wish it was easier, but it's just not as fun when it's so easy. And when you look back and you're like, oh, look at the hell that I've gone through to get where I am. But you wouldn't know what you know today if you didn't do it. And mentors can only go so far. You can only learn so much from a podcast before actually going out and doing the things yourself, getting kicked in the nuts and knocked down. And
the lessons I learned when you get knocked down, that's for sure.
There's like something really special, I think, about entrepreneurial people. And I say that in a funny way. Like we can handle rejection to a point that no one else can, right? Because it's a constant rejection. It's constant rejection. Not only is it rejection from the government on stuff we want to do, federal, local, state, okay? It's also all of the red tape with the insurance companies, with the neighboring properties, with contractors, with buyers, with sellers, with it. It's
Everything's
endless.
an obstacle. Yes.
Endless. And then at home too, right? And then, at home you hear it. Like if you're not around, if you're working so much, you may hear it from your other half, right? Like, oh, what the hell? You're never around, blah, 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 blah. Like it is a nonstop grind. But then if you don't work hard, you don't bring home the bread, you're going to hear, yeah, you're never around, right? Like you
get them both. Yeah.
It is.
There's a balance in everything, and that's the trick.
And
that's
I'm sure women deal with it with men too, right? That aren't in the same entrepreneurial situation. So I'm not trying to say that you don't.
No, 100%. I have this conversation with females as well.
All all the
for sure.
time, right? So it is not a faint of heart, it's not for the faint of heart at all. Sam, what is a piece of advice that somebody has given you over the years that has always stuck with you and has always guided you, that has always given you something to hang on to?
There's been a lot. I've taken advice from different individuals. One that's coming to mind right now, just because it's kind of on the topic, it is who you surround yourself with.
Hmm.
All right.
You believe
So
that?
100%.
Hmm.
100%. If you're surrounding yourself with entrepreneurs, you're gonna be an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
If you're surrounding yourself with people that want to grow,
Hmm.
you're gonna want to grow, even if you're all in different industry. But if all of you guys are growing, you're gonna be motivated to grow as well, and you guys are gonna be educating each other because that's what you guys are gonna be talking about. I'm not old. I'm still young. I'm looking to continue to grow in my careers. If I start surrounding myself with individuals that are all calculating and figuring out how they can retire tomorrow, well, they're not gonna help me in terms of my path and motivation to continue to grow and grind
Hmm.
because right now they're on a different mindset.
Hmm.
So yeah, surround yourself with individuals that have the mindset that you want to wake up to every single day.
Mm. That's right. That's good.
It sounds basic,
No,
right?
it makes
It
sense.
sounds basic, but listen, a lot of the old sayings that older individuals say, they say for a reason. We just hear it so often, it goes in one ear and out the other, but we don't reflect on it. And we really need to start reflecting on all these old sayings. Like, tell me the 5 people you hang around with, I'm gonna tell you who you are. And it's true.
Hmm. That's true. It really is so basic though. When you grind down and look at things, you just got to take action and you got to be around the right people. You got to have a little bit of luck. I like to call it blessings.
Mhm.
And you just got to constantly be working on little efforts that make compounding results.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, dude, like I remember 12, 15 years ago. Right. And you were probably doing the same. Dude, I was door knocking, like hitting doors, like getting doors slammed in my face. I still get them slammed in my face. Right. But one of those doors turned into a listing that turned into 20 referrals over the
Over the
year that
years.
turned into this and that and
Mhm.
investment properties and
Well, like I said earlier,
compounding.
yeah, and you're describing how tough the path is. Like I said earlier, it's not scheduled to be easy. The formula is pretty basic,
Mm.
right? But it doesn't mean it's going to be easy to calculate and get done.
So, Sam, let's talk about your back is against the wall. Okay, I want you to think, and you don't got to share about what that experience was. You're going through life and you are having whatever it is, life, business, everything all thrown at you at one time, an extremely difficult time in your life.
Mhm.
What do you do to pull yourself out of that trench? What do you tell yourself? What do you do? What are some actions you take?
I've probably found myself in that scenario multiple times, right?
Hmm.
Life is not going to just hit you once, right?
Hmm.
If I see it coming, I do prepare myself for it. I want to be mentally strong, so I want to make sure I'm healthy. You'll see me start to just eat better. I'm hitting the gym. I'm working
Word
out.
puzzles.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Whatever it is.
Sudoku.
Yeah, I start sewing. No, but honestly, I do. I go into training. I start getting ready for war. That's how I describe it. If I see the battle coming, I start preparing, getting ready for war, just like a warrior would if
Hmm.
he knows that they're going out to battle. So I just start, making sure that I'm ready to take on whatever blow life wants to throw at me.
Hmm.
And if something comes my way that I didn't see coming, well, I instantly just start like all of a sudden I'm drinking less alcohol. I same thing. I'm going in and making sure I'm in the gym, making sure I'm focused. I start getting rid of all the extra noise that might be around me because we walk around as entrepreneurs with full plates. And then we have
Yeah.
all these little things that I start trimming all the fat to make sure I stay focused on the real battle that might be in front of me at the moment.
Hmm.
I'm being vague, but at the end
Oh,
of
it's
the day,
perfect.
that's really what I do. I want to make sure that I'm strong.
Hmm.
Sometimes people go through hard times and they look towards drugs and alcohol and so on. And
Gambling.
complete opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to be laser focused.
Mm-hmm. That's great advice, Sam. That's really good advice. I picture, you know what I picture? I picture you walking around like with like, like the stick and a plate spinning on each one full. You got one like on your
Yeah.
mouth, one over here,
That's
your
it.
toes
That's every day. And then we're jumping through hurdles, over hurdles every morning.
with those spinning.
Yeah, with those spinning.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. So all right. So what drives you? I mean, you're running multiple businesses. You've got a wonderful team. Shout out to the ALBA team and to our friends over at Innovations Realty.
Love you guys.
You guys are amazing. I love your team over there too. And by team, I mean the whole brokerage.
Thank you. No, I'm very
cool
fortunate.
people.
Very, very fortunate. I have a very good group. I love them. They're hardworking. They're just good people. I enjoy working with them. Besides in the real estate career, I do a lot of investments with them. I have a ton of partnerships with agents in my office.
Love that.
And we've grown stronger. The bond has grown stronger between us because of it. And I think it's also helped them in their career in terms of whether they're growing or just getting started as realtors / investors. But yeah, no, love my team. Great team.
So Sam, you are a leader like through and through, and you just shared pretty much the essence of being leaders, just making sure everybody's eating around you. And the biggest thing that I've learned right over the years, and by watching people like you, is that leadership is servitude. You're there to service other people, to be a servant to other people. And I think that the best leaders that I know are servants.
In a way, yes.
Right.
Yes, I'll agree to that. Yes, you're servicing the individuals around you, your community, and you're really doing it, for just the greater good of your whole ecosystem around you, right? Most of the time, it's not directly putting extra money in your pocket, but long term, if you keep it building, it should all work out.
But just knowing too that like, hey, you know what? We're changing lives. We're helping people level up, right? And I've seen that. And I've been like over the years, I'm like, wow, Sam, I'm like, look, you're partnering with your agents and this and that. So I'm literally having that conversation. Like, I want you to know like what you do bleeds into other people's lives just by watching what you're doing, right? And you need to know that. Like, I literally have conversations with my advisors today. I was in the conference room with them before you came in. I said, guys, listen, you need to be leveraging real estate, this, that, buying, selling, investing. If you want to know how to do it, let me know. But I was thinking of you, and I was picturing you in front of your team doing that. So that's wealth creation too, at a whole different level, like by proxy.
I believe in it so much that, let's say I'm sitting down with a new agent that wants to join the office. When they ask me what the office offers, the tools that I start to mention is the resources that we provide as an office, and it's really as we turn realtors into investors as well. We help you grow financially through real estate investments. And just saying how we mentor them, and because at this stage it's no longer just me. Maybe at one point it was, but today it's definitely not. I'm not the only investor in my office.
Oh no, you got some heavy hitters.
100%. I learned off of them too.
Yeah.
So at this point, this is where all that work starts to come back, because now I'm learning off of some of the individuals that have grown alongside of me, and other individuals that have come to join the program. But yeah, that's one of the number one tools that my office offers, is just being around other investors that maybe that's what your goal is to become. Because you're right, you want to be able to leverage the real estate career from all the different avenues that it offers, right? As a real estate agent, phenomenal. As an investor, as a property manager, you want to be able to walk into a real estate scenario, walk into a home and be able to say, well, this is something that definitely works for one of my clients. It's something I could buy and rehab. This is something I could maybe just sell the note on. Right? You want to have options. You just don't want to walk in and say, this house doesn't work for my client, let me walk out. No, what else is there?
That's right.
And if there's nothing there, then yeah, it's just a shitty property, walk out. But you want to make sure that you explore all avenues on how to be able to capitalize on this product that you just spent X amount of time researching and walking into.
Let's talk about opportunities, right? So people, You got two different kinds of people, right? You got the people that wait for opportunities, and the people who have opportunities find them. So the people that well, three people.
Mhm.
People that wait, people that search, people that attract.
Yes.
Okay, you attract opportunities.
At this stage, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about what did it take to be able to attract opportunities? Did you have to go through stages of like waiting, going for, and then attracting, or how'd that work?
So it's definitely stages. I was never one to wait.
I didn't think so.
That waiting to me is never
Look at that
good
suit.
game plan.
This guy was not waiting for anything.
No, I
Feel dressed down.
For most, listen, you always got the sharp suits on. You're good. But in all scenarios,
TJ Maxx.
right behind you, grab my size. But no, going back, waiting. It's to me has never been a good game plan. I mean, there's probably very few scenarios where that would actually be something I would consider. So I'm always gonna go out and try to find a deal if I need one. If I need deals, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna hunt. And that's honestly that's what entrepreneurs do. They're gonna go find the opportunities.
Hunt and kill.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
And then once you become so knowledgeable, I'm gonna say maybe in my case, you be at this stage, I got a certain level of knowledge, so people will bring opportunities to me just to be able to piggyback off me, become partners because I might know how to manage the scenario a little bit better. I might be able to manage the financing better. So they're looking to use me and the opportunity they found. They want to be a part of it, but maybe they need different resources. In this case, maybe just knowledge or financing. So the opportunities do come to me. Who's bringing them to me is people that probably I invested some time with in the past and I'm helping grow, or I just advise. And at this point, they're looking to me as potentially partnering up on certain investments that they want to capitalize on. And it does happen a lot. I probably have more deals right now with individuals that brought me those opportunities and we've partnered up in one way or another than I have actively going on by myself.
So, I mean, would you say that people look at you as not only a broker, but a knowledge broker? Like somebody with what you're saying, people are coming to you as somebody who has knowledge to put things together, get things going on, put the puzzle pieces together to make it happen. So would you call yourself a knowledge broker?
100%. Yesterday, a good friend of mine's, very experienced realtor, and he was getting ready to sell a house, but he was going to hold a mortgage on it. So he was going to be a private lender on that sale. And he sat down with me to figure out how to structure that loan and the options that he will have, just because of the dynamics of that case. And I was able to give him two scenarios that could work for him. But this was something that is new to him, even though he's very experienced and knowledgeable in the real estate world, but not so much in terms of how to write or structure certain loans. So that was a scenario that was less than 24 hours ago.
So in the advent of artificial intelligence, AI, ChatGPT, all of these other things where people are turning to all of the time and getting misinformation or wrong information though, but do you see as this gets better daily,
Yes.
at a massive rate, like doubles and triples and gets better and better and better, do you find that knowledge brokers, people with the knowledge, people with the connections and all that, do you feel like that's going to go away and people are just going to resort to technology?
No, knowledge brokers are going to use AI. If you're not using AI, then I'm not going to call you a knowledge broker. If you're not using AI right now, you're just scheduling yourself to be a dinosaur. But AI is not going to replace these individuals who have these mindsets. Right? They're just going to make them stronger.
Agreed. Yep.
And at the end of the day, the AI is just a tool, probably one of the most powerful tools we've ever seen.
Agreed.
And all that's going to do is, again, make individuals stronger, make them more knowledgeable, because now I have access to more knowledge faster. I just got to know and learn how to use it every day. So it's a big pivot in everybody's career, not just our careers.
People also get something from others, from leaders, that they cannot get from technology, and that's reassurance. How important is reinsurance to people that you've mentored or people that you surround yourself with?
One, you know what? That's a good point, because I didn't mention that as one of the reasons why people bring me opportunities as well. is because they bring it and they say, well, Sam does it, then I'm in. If Sam thinks it's a good idea, then I also think it's a good idea.
It's part of your personal brand.
Yeah. I'm putting in my money, whether, so, but AI is not, you're right. AI is not going to give you that insurance. You could run all of that, all the formula through it. But at the end of the day, you're going to ask AI, hey, will you put your money into it? Are you going to put your money into this investment?
No money.
It has no money, right? It might tell you that it would, but it's not going, you're not going to see him do it.
Can you find me money to put into this investment?
I'll take your money. But the reinsurance that you get from another individual that's telling you, I've done it 100 times, I'll coach you through it. I've seen all these obstacles before. Go ahead, you're gonna be all right. That means a lot coming from an individual that you trust.
It's huge.
Going back to what I wish, same thing, mentor. I wish I had somebody that told me way back then, Sam, do this. This is the way this is done. Buy investment properties here, or buy these type of investment. Trust me, I've done it before. This works. And if I knew that individual to be a respectful, knowledgeable consultant, I probably would have listened. But never got that. It was all School of Hard Knocks all the way through.
It's pretty amazing.
So I love giving out the information. I love telling people I could probably save you 10 years of headaches, the headaches I have. But, you're probably going to listen to half of it, so I'm only going to save you 5.
I don't think you need any more text messages coming in. So 2,400 text messages a day. It's wild.
Well, we'll keep screening them. We'll try to tackle the important ones.
So we got Sam Alba here, developer, investor, broker, sales coach, father. The list goes on and on and on. Just a fantastic guy. Absolutely awesome. And, grew up in humble beginnings, and that would be a whole nother interview. But I want you to know that Sam wasn't always as polished in who he is today. He had to learn through the hardships of growth. And we've got to learn maybe 0.1% about who Sam is and what drives him and all of that. So Sam, I would love to have you back on again. I think that this was absolutely fantastic. I hope you got something from it. Any closing remarks?
Absolutely. Well, listen, I would love to come back on. I'm a huge fan, so just give me a call. I'll be right here.
Feelings mutual.
But, I will say this. You're right. I came from very humble beginnings, but I did grow up with a lot of wealth in terms of the love I had and support from my family.
Sure did. I love your family. Great people.
I'm very fortunate to have had the family I grew up with. And till this day, another individual that we all need is a great consultant just in life. And I reach out to my brother.
Oh, I thought you were talking about God. Well, I was like, man.
Yes, if you're spiritual, God, and listen, he has a book. Read it. Mm-hmm. He's going to guide you through a lot of things. I was just going to give a lot of credit to my brother, Geraldo Alba, because I reach out to him all the time. He's always there for me.
Great guy.
What questions? All of them.
Very smart guy.
All of them. Yeah, very smart guy. Yeah. I wish I had his brain.
You do. You just think differently. He's more analytical, maybe. Well, you're analytical too.
He's an engineer, so yes, he does think differently.
When we have you back on, yes. But when we have you back on, I want you to tell a story about when you were door knocking as a kid, as a Jehovah, and you got people throwing water on you and stuff from the second floor.
Those were great days.
To be continued.
Yeah. That helped build.
That's right. That's right. Iron sharpens iron, and no one knows that more than our good friend here, Sam Alba. Sam, again, thank you so much.
Thank
man.
you. Appreciate
God bless you. That was awesome. Thank you.
Man.
Awesome. Enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll be back here next week on The Wealth Architect. Comment below. Make sure that you subscribe, and we love to hear from you. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.